guys, double wide 6, and I'm inside the pool shed. It's looking pretty good. I finished up the wiring, and now what I'm working on today is a way to get the water pumped out of the pool house, and I want to run it into my house's French drain, and I'll show you why in a second. Here's a look at my sand filter and setup. And basically, if you're going to backwash your pool or pump water out of your pool, it's going to come out right here at this clamp here out this port. And I want to try and run that back to my French drain. And when I had the guy do the concrete, I had him rough in a pipe. Now I'll show you why I don't want to just drain it outside. Here's a look at the outside of the pool house. And if you didn't get to see my videos, I have several videos on how to build this pool shed. And if you look out here, you'll notice that my grass is kind of torn up in different spots. And I put some kind of rough fill in these pockets. And that's from draining the water out of the pool, because it comes out at a pretty high rate of speed. So what I've done is I have a pipe coming out the shed here that's actually buried. And it runs along the fence. And this was just dug up and moved. And it goes underground here, you can kind of see it, and it ties in right here into my French drain and brings it out to the front of the house. So now what we need to do is tie the pump into that pipe that I had roughed in the concrete. So we'll go and do that next. First thing I need to do is just kind of take everything apart here. This is set up sort of temporary. Okay, so we're going to start this thing out with a 2-inch threaded insert, and I'm going to use this pipe sealant. It's actually got Teflon in it, and they do make some different types of pipe sealant. You want to get one that's made for plastic. This one happens to be made for plastic and metal, it says. So we'll put some of that on there, because I don't want any leaks in here, because we're inside a shed. I used to not care when this was just outside sitting on a slab. So we'll thread this thing on, and I'll take my water jacks and tighten these down. Think about another quarter turn. I'm going to cut the PVC on the chop saw. You got to be careful. You can cut this stuff by hand. We had a kid in a neighboring high school. He had just won like an industrial arts award, and he ended up actually cutting off his thumb. Right when he got out of school, he was cutting a round dowel. So I'm going to keep my hands far away from the blade when I make this cut. So we have our pipe going up. I didn't glue anything, and it's hard to tell, but the ceiling's angled down 30 degrees. So the problem's going to be, you know, putting an elbow on that pipe and getting it to go down 30 degrees and then down that wall into the pipe down there. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is bring the pipe up from the bottom. So we'll take off that temporary line and we'll run our pipe up to the corner. So out of the slab comes a pipe, and we're going to go straight up the corner, and up there I have a 22.5 degree angle. If I go straight off of that, my pipe will end up going into the rafters. It's too steep of an angle. So what I have to do is take another 22.5 and if I put this in here, I should be able to run this at any angle I want. And if I do that on both ends, that should tie it together nicely. So that's the way I'm planning on doing this. Okay, so I've got both sides roughed out. I haven't run the bridge across the top with the pipe. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this stays level. That way it looks good. So I'm just putting a level on it. We're making sure it's plumb on both sides. And we're going to get that side all glued up. And then we'll do the same with the other side. But I can already tell that pipe sticking out of concrete's on a bit of an angle. So we're going to glue this. And I'm going to put in some strapping to secure it. I'm just going to take the time to go through and mark each joint just so I know how they go together. And then we'll go through and prime and glue it. So here's how I glue this stuff. I'm going to start out with my primer. Try not to drip it and make a mess. Put the lid on it so we don't spill it. Then we'll open our glue. Use these water jacks. There we go. Make sure you glue both sides. Put it on and twist it to where you want it, and then hold it in place. Usually takes about 15 seconds till it'll hold. Well, here's where we're at. I'm climbing the ladder and I'm working alone, so I'm just trying to temporarily support this pipe up here so I can get it glued at the right angle. I think I'll come back and make it look neater. This is the last connection. Well, I got this thing up there. Fixed up the straps a little bit and runs down the corner, down the wall and out. So I think it looks pretty good. One of the things that I wanted to do was, you know, if I wanted to, I could have just ran it straight across, but if I came straight out and went straight across, that would make it hard to get over to this area of the shed. So now it's completely out of the way. And this pool shed is basically going to be used to, number one, stop the noise from the pool pump, which is pretty loud, and I'm probably going to make a video of me fixing this pump, new bearings, and you know, just kind of going through it, because it is loud. And those of you that are probably going to be in the comments saying that the insulation's on backwards, I did that on purpose. Reason for that is for the sound of the motor, and this isn't going to get finished in here, so I don't need the paper facing the finished side of the building. So at this point, I think it's time to try this thing out and look for leaks. So hopefully it doesn't leak. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll turn it on and we'll check for leaks here. Running now, and I'm not seeing any leaks. I'd say we're in good shape. Alright guys, I'm Double Wide 6. That's going to be it for this one. I'll put some links in the description to some of the tools that I used in the video. I just recently had a contest through Grip Tools in my last video, so if you didn't enter in that, you want to make sure you enter. And it was great to get all those comments in that last video. Some of you guys that are just commenting to get in on the contest, you should comment all the time. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.